a Catholic priest, a quiet Cotswold village, and a murder rate so high that one of the show's own fans joked online that they wouldn't want to live there, despite loving every single episode. Father Brown has been running since 2013, over 140 episodes, 13 series, broadcast in more than 150 countries, and at the center of it all, a former Harry Potter actor who turned a fictional priest into one of the most beloved characters on British television. But here's what most fans don't know. Behind the cozy village charm and the gentle humor lies a story that is genuinely surprising, a pandemic that nearly stopped the show's landmark 100th episode, a Doctor Who legend who quietly slipped into the cast, and a level of international success that nobody, including the star himself, ever expected. Stay with us, because the real story of Father Brown is more fascinating than any case he has ever solved. Fact 1. It's based on a priest who was a real detective story pioneer. Father Brown is loosely based on a series of short stories written by G.K. Chesterton, first published in the early 20th century. Chesterton's Father Brown was one of the earliest examples of an amateur detective whose method relied on understanding human psychology and sin, rather than physical evidence or forensic deduction. The character predates many of the most famous fictional detectives in popular culture. Chesterton was writing a crime-solving priest decades before television detectives became a genre of their own. The BBC's modern adaptation took his core idea, a quiet, unassuming clergyman who sees what everyone else misses, and built an entire world of cozy mystery around it. Fact 2. Mark Williams compared it to Harry Potter. Mark Williams, who plays Father Brown, is internationally known for playing Arthur Weasley in the Harry Potter film franchise. When asked whether he ever expected Father Brown to become as successful as it has, his answer referenced that very experience. He has said that he once asked Harry Potter producer David Heyman whether he expected to make all 8 Potter films. Heyman told him no. Williams has said you set out with hope and good storytelling, and that in his view is exactly what the Father Brown team has consistently delivered. Fact 3. The show is watched in over 150 countries. Father Brown is set entirely in the fictional village of Kembleford in the Cotswolds, but its audience reaches far beyond rural England. The show is broadcast in more than 150 countries, including the United States, Australia, and Canada. Reporters from international outlets regularly visit the set specifically to interview Mark Williams about the show's global success. A cozy mystery series about a Catholic priest solving crimes in a quiet English village has become one of the most internationally distributed British dramas of the past decade. Fact 4. The real village is called Blockley. Kembleford does not exist. The real village used for filming is Blockley, a genuine Cotswold village that has effectively become the public face of Father Brown. Fans who visit Blockley find themselves walking through the same streets, past the same church, and into the same buildings that have featured in well over 100 episodes. The production has used the same core locations for more than a decade, giving the show an unusually consistent and authentic sense of place. For many visitors, walking through Blockley feels like walking directly into the show. Fact 5. COVID nearly stopped the 100th episode. In 2020, Father Brown was preparing to film its landmark 100th episode, a significant milestone for any long-running drama. Production was set to begin on the 9th series. Then the global pandemic hit. Filming was halted indefinitely. Nobody knew when or if production would be able to resume. Mark Williams has spoken about the strange experience of waiting at home during that period, using the unexpected break to catch up on a backlog of books that had, in his words, become equivalent to a coffee table. The production eventually resumed later that year. The 100th episode was completed. The show continued. Fact 6. A Doctor Who legend joined the cast? In Series 11, Father Brown crossed paths, quite literally, with Doctor Who history. Sylvester McCoy, who played the 7th Doctor in Doctor Who from 1987 to 1989, appeared in the show alongside Melanie Walters. The behind-the-scenes footage from that episode was specifically promoted as the moment when Doctor Who met Father Brown. For fans of both classic British science fiction and cozy mystery drama, it was a genuinely unexpected crossover, 2 beloved corners of British television colliding in the Cotswolds. Fact 7. The cast once swapped roles for an episode in Series 12. The production filmed a behind-the-scenes special documenting an unusual creative choice, an episode in which Father Brown becomes the victim of what is described as the most perfect murder. performed on stage within the story itself. The twist, Inspector Sullivan, Father Brown's regular police counterpart, plays the role of a priest within that staged murder mystery. The cast spent the episode swapping their usual dynamics, with the detective playing the clergyman and the clergyman becoming the victim. It is the kind of self-aware, slightly theatrical storytelling choice that has helped keep the show feeling fresh across 13 series. Fact 8. At its peak, 2.3 million people watched in the UK alone. Father Brown's daytime broadcast slot on BBC One might suggest a modest audience. The reality is rather different. The show has reached a peak UK audience of 2.3 million viewers, a substantial figure for a daytime drama, and one that places it firmly among the most successful programs in its broadcast slot in British television history. Combined with its international reach across more than 150 countries, Father Brown's true global audience runs into the tens of millions. Fact 9. Mark Williams says he's still getting to know the character. After more than a decade and over 140 episodes, you might expect an actor to feel they fully understand their character. Mark Williams disagrees. Speaking ahead of the 12th series, Williams said that as the show entered its 12th season, he felt he was starting to get to know Father Brown properly. He described the character as a mysterious sort of bloke, someone who consistently does not do what you expect. Williams has said that the best thing about playing the role is that he is never entirely certain what Father Brown will do next. After 13 series, the character is still surprising the man who plays him. Fact 10. Series 12 featured a medieval murder at a Tudor reenactment. The plots of Father Brown have grown increasingly inventive across its run. Series 12 included a storyline involving a death at a Tudor battle reenactment, staged as a medieval murder within a modern recreation of historical combat. The same series saw recurring character Mrs. Devine accused of murder, a cardinal arriving from the Vatican with a secret mission, and one of the show's most enduring adversaries, Flambeau, returning to assist Father Brown. For a daytime cozy mystery, the show has consistently found ways to escalate its drama without losing the warmth that made it popular in the first place. Fact 11. The show has run for over a decade with the same lead. Mark Williams has played Father Brown continuously since the show's debut in January 2013. Across 13 series and well over 140 episodes, he has remained the unbroken constant at the center of the show. This is increasingly rare in British television, where long-running dramas frequently recast lead roles or rotate their core cast. Father Brown has built its identity entirely around Williams's specific performance, his particular blend of warmth, mischief, and quiet moral authority. Subscribe if you want more. There's plenty more where this came from. Fact 12. The production has already confirmed Series 14. Father Brown's longevity shows no sign of slowing down. As Series 13 began broadcasting, production records indicated that Series 14 was already in development, with documentation updated as recently as December 2025. For a show that began as a daytime BBC drama with modest expectations, the confirmation of a 14th series places it among the longest continuously running detective dramas currently in production anywhere in British television. Fact 13. The series is set in the 1950s, but filmed with modern sensibility. Father Brown is set in the 1950s Cotswolds, a deliberate period choice that allows the show to explore both the charm and the social tensions of post-war rural England. The production has used this setting to explore themes that go beyond simple murder mysteries. Class division, religious tension, the changing role of women, and the lingering aftershocks of the Second World War all surface across various episodes, woven carefully into stories that remain, on the surface, cozy and accessible. It is a show that looks gentle and frequently is, but does not shy away from the more complicated realities of the era it depicts. Fact 14. Mark Williams has said the variety keeps it fresh. After over a decade in the role, Mark Williams has pointed to the sheer variety of storylines as the key to the show's longevity. In a single recent run of episodes, the show featured a train robbery alongside several entirely different styles of mystery. This variety, moving between styles, tones, and types of case from one episode to the next, has allowed Father Brown to avoid the repetitiveness that ends many long-running detective dramas. Each episode offers something distinct, even within a consistent overall format. Fact 15. A spin-off series was born from the show. Father Brown's success led directly to the creation of a spin-off series, Sister Boniface Mysteries, featuring a character who first appeared within the world of Father Brown before being given her own dedicated show. This kind of spin-off success is rare for a daytime drama. It places Father Brown alongside far higher-profile British dramas in terms of its ability to generate a sustainable, extended universe. A quiet Catholic priest solving crimes in a village that does not exist has become successful enough to spawn his own cinematic universe. G.K. Chesterton, writing his original stories in the early 20th century, could not possibly have imagined where his creation would eventually end up. And those are 15 shocking facts about one of British television's most quietly successful detective dramas. A show that began as a daytime drama with modest expectations and became a genuine global phenomenon. One murder, one village fate, and one perfectly timed confession at a time. If you are a true Father Brown fan, this channel was made for you. Subscribe and we will see you next time.